Trev's Top 10s here on Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. Still too sweet. Anyway, with the Adidas era coming to a really rapid end with the NHL after this season is concerned, figured, you know what, now would be a good time for a good retrospective. I know I've done something like this for when the Reebok line was discontinued. I think I did a little bit after. Sorry, I did two. One for the pre-Reeboks and one for the thirds. I never did one for a full retrospective on the Reeboks, but that's what I was talking about. I figured I'd show some appreciation to some of my favorite jerseys that came out from the Adidas era. More specifically, my 10 favorites. And you can feel free to drop me your 10 favorites, but here's mine. And you don't have to agree with it. This is just my own personal bias. So having said that, let's talk about it. So starting in no particular order at number 10. I still got mad deep appreciation for these Colorado Avalanche third jerseys. Now these were a favorite of mine during the Reebok era when Reebok designed them. So when Adidas brought them back out for 2018, and they still wear them to this day, I was quite happy about it. I'm not gonna lie. It's still on my list of jerseys I'd love to get, but it's still one of my favorites. The Vegas Golden Knights' current third jerseys. Now these used to be their former home jerseys, but as soon as the gold jerseys became a hit, it obviously made logistical sense, but I'm a sucker for these ones. I've always liked the gray ones over any of them, but you don't see it as much, but when you do see it, it's, for me anyway, it's a nice reminder of what the team looked like for me when they started. And I'll always remember that. It's the same thing with the Sharks, but I don't know. Call me a sucker for original. I like their original design better. The Dallas Stars Winter Classic jerseys. Now normally, I'm not a fan of script across the jerseys, especially if it doesn't need to be in the logo. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the gloves, the pants, and everything that just takes away from the giant D in the middle of stars. It just works, and I've kind of come to grow to love it. I mean, obviously, it kind of hypocrites half the things I say about font across the front, but like I said, it just works. It's a beautiful jersey. That's the best I can say about it. The 2019 Boston Bruins Winter Classic jerseys. Now, for me, this is more of a retro kind of feel in the sense that it reminds me of their 75th anniversary jerseys that they wore in 91-92, and I'm sorry, the original 6 lineup for jerseys that year I thought was amazing. For all 6 of them, this one was my favorite. No matter how you look at it, whether you know it's the Bruins or not, it just screams Boston, and that's what a jersey should do. The Calgary Flames' first reverse retro jerseys, which if I'm not mistaken, are their current third jerseys. I've always loved the Blasty design. I'm not gonna lie, I've never lied about that. For me, Blasty is it's an amazing piece of art in an early 2000s where stuff like this would have been, some people would have called it abstract. I would have called it interesting, but I love the design and the fact that it's stuck around. That's not bad at all. They just don't make them like this anymore. The New York Rangers 2023 reverse retros. Nothing against their first reverse retros. I know it's pretty much the same design. It's just this one does a better job of suiting the Rangers than the first one does. And it's nothing against the first one. It's just dark on the Rangers is a different thing for me. Light on the Rangers, that's what I think of when I think of Rangers, is a light blue, not a dark blue. But again, this is just my list. That's my preference. But having said all that, staying in New York and sticking with the reverse retros. Come on, it's the Fisherman. How can you not like this design? I was a fan of it back in the 90s. And so that should tell you, A, my style and taste when it comes to NHL jerseys, and B, well, I could probably kind of age myself on that one too. But, come on, the Fisherman. Again, how could you not like this? This is probably the best marketing design they could have ever did. And the fact that everybody was screaming for it to return when, it should have never left in the first place. Come on, it would totally work nowadays. I guarantee it. But one of the best jerseys Adidas ever made. Again, with the reverse retros. I'm sorry, the second round of reverse retros was pretty damn good, and they had some really good designs, such as the Capitals' black Screaming Eagle. Like, if they would have did this in the 90s, oh my goodness. That design would have never left, I guarantee it. But it was reimagined for this, and it's hard to look at the blue one now knowing there's a black one out there. I mean, nothing against, the White House logo jersey, but this would have been so much better than the White House logo. But still, pretty sexy look. The Sharks Heritage jersey that they brought out in 2021. Now, I was a fan of when Reebok did this in 2016. So the fact that Adidas did this, there's not a wrong answer for either one of them. I was always a fan of this design from 91 till the time they basically branched it out for 97, 98. And if they would have kept this more full-time, oh my goodness, it would have been so nice. But a lot of the pundits I know that I talk to don't like the design because of the stick in the logo. It's like, well, I mean, there could be worse things. It could be the team nickname in there, but I think that makes it look like it should, like a shark, at least an NHL shark. But if it weren't for number one, this would be my number one pick. But there's a number one in there, and the answer shouldn't surprise you. Like I was saying, the answer shouldn't surprise you. I mean, here's the surprise. I was debating which Kraken jersey to include in here because there's no such thing as a bad Kraken jersey. And to be honest, I was flip-flopping between the Winter Classic and the Reverse Retro. And I thought, well, I like this one more. The Reverse Retro has more tones of blue. Sure, this one, well, I mean, you kind of knew this was the design they were going to go for when they were announced to have the Winter Classic, but it looks so good. Oh, it looks really good. Either way, that is the best jersey that Adidas ever made, in my own opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That's my opinion. Oh, still gotta find one. Feel free to leave your top 10s down below if you wanna. So that was another one of Trev's top 10s here on Trev's Hockey Show. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you've made it to this point. And if you've made it this far, hey, you gotta give me that thumbs up. You're in that deep now. You gotta let me know you're here. If you want to, that red button that says subscribe all over it, dude, we're on a mad dash to 500. Let's make it happen. Hit that subscribe button. It'll make you feel good. It'll make me feel good. Help my algorithm out. So that's never a bad deal. Now for future, we're waiting on the Western Conference playoffs to finish. Then we're going to have a Stanley Cup prediction. I've got 3 numbers I'm working on right now. 1 outdoor game. And I'm still working on a defunct team. So that's what I got in the pipe. But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for videos from Trev. Later.